Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to look at a car from Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, I've done cars from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto 4. First one from Grand Theft Auto 5 is right here, right now. So I'm going to go to grid map, I'm thinking. Yeah, we're going to go to grid map. We're going to grid map. Grid map. We're going to go to grid map. And check it out. So one thing to note, though, is even though it's from Grand Theft Auto 5, I don't know if it looks much better than the one from Grand Theft Auto 4. And the reason for that is this one is from the PC version of the game, which has better graphics. So if you look, you can see this car, up close. Looks pretty nice. One thing to specifically look at, because it's the only real comparison point between the two cars, is look at the wheel arch. And look how smooth it is here. It's pretty smooth. And then if you look at the other one, which is from 5, it might be a little bit less smooth. Like ever so slightly. And that's basically one of the few things you can get a full comparison on, because the rest of the car is totally different. So here's the one from Grand Theft Auto 5. This one is the DeClasse Asea. And feel free to correct me on that pronunciation, because I have no idea at all. Only if you're the first person to do it. If you do it 5 months after I upload this video and you're the 18th person to do it, boy, you're not helping nobody. I mean, this guy said it 5 months ago, saying this is the way you pronounce it. I'm thank you. And you're 5 months later saying it. It's like, dude, you're hella late for this. So, anyways, this is the DeClasse Asea, I guess, from the exterior. We can go ahead and look at the interior in a second. I'll do one more pan of it. So it looks alright, Nothing too fancy or anything. Take a look at the inside. And, well, it's a Grand Theft Auto port, so that means, usually you look at the car like this. And from that way, it doesn't look that bad, right? But when you get this close to it, it looks a little ugly. You can kind of see how they cut corners to make it look good from the outside, but not in the inside. Steering wheel does spin, but gauges do not function. And some other things to note. Lights do not function as of right now. This is version 0.9, I should say. Headlights do nothing. Blinkers do nothing. And lastly, it has backup lights, which don't match up. It doesn't have brake lights, though. So those are just the kind of oddities about it. There's a couple other things, like I don't know if that's part of just the design, but it looks weird having that black line there. I'm assuming it's just part of the design, though, because it's not like that's where the doors attach. If you take the doors off, they're attached right down there. So I don't know what that black line is for sure. I'm guessing it's just a design. And since we have the doors off, you can see this. Those middle doors aren't really attached to anything. And that's more of Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar's fault, I guess you could say, than the guy who made the mod, because there just isn't something there. So the guy can't attach to anything, really. So the only car I know of that would actually look like that when you open both the doors, well, there's one car I can think of, really. It's the RX-8. But that thing has suicide doors, so the doors be opening from here and here. So there's no point, there's nothing that hinges here. This one, there should be something that'd be like a hinge or something. I don't know how it would attach normally. I don't know. Anyways, let's go and I think that's about all I have to say about the visuals. Oh, one thing that's interesting to note is if you look at the engine side by side between this one and the Ballista, you can really see a difference. Like it's interesting. That's one spot you could really see a difference in detail. So we're gonna pull out this one from Grand Theft Auto 4 once again just to do this comparison. Because it's interesting to see this, at least to me, I think, is how much more detailed the engine is on this one. Alright, so there we go. So, here, look at the engine on this one. And you see it has just a lot more details to it. It has like text on that thing, the engine that says invariable valve timing and it's 1.4 liter inline engine, blah blah blah. And it just has a lot of little details to it that make it look more engine-like, really, I guess you could say. This one, it kind of just looks like a blob. A blob. It's just like, yeah, that's a blob of engine. It could be, oh yeah, that's the plastic cover that everybody puts on their engines and blah blah blah, so it looks realistic. But it doesn't look good as the other one. It doesn't look as good. Alright, so that's everything I got to say about visuals, I think. So now we can do some performance stuff. So, this is a front-wheel drive, and let me prove it's front-wheel drive. You see that? Parking brake on, which wheel is spinning? The front wheel. So it's front-wheel drive. Economy car, really. It's a 4-door economy car. Kind of reminds me of a Chevy Sonic in a way. But I would say it's like the higher trim of an economy car where it has more power than most economy cars would have. Because it gets up to 60 reasonably fast. It's not going to break no records or nothing, but it gets there. And, yeah. That's really the acceleration aspect. It can get up to like 100 miles per hour, I would think. We could test that real quick right now. One thing to note, though, is this still turning? Is this still going straight? Okay, it's okay. I'll talk about it later then. Oh, and don't change the color. Don't, on version 0.9, do not change the color. Things go crazy, and it's not like the way you would expect it, so I almost want to show it off later. Because you can't fix it, I don't think, unless you respawn the car, maybe. I haven't looked into fixing it, I just saw what happens when you do it. So let's see, we can get this thing up to 100 miles per hour, right? And then this space, maybe? 80, 90, 95, 99, 100, there we go. And no economy car is made to crash at 100 miles per hour, so this thing will be crushed. Bye-bye. Well, that held up more than I expected. Wow, I'm surprised that held up as much as it did. Look at the engine. It's like, I'm in the car. The tire's like, I'm in the car too. No, you're supposed to be on the outside of the car. Or whatever, you know. What are you doing here? So, yeah. Now, one thing, though, is funny is, you could break the suspension by churning too hard. Be like, I gotta churn hard. Oh, I broke it. So, like, if you get up to about maybe, I don't know, 60, 70 miles per hour, turn hard left or right, and just hold it there. Look at that tire. Oh, God. Hello, ramp. What are you doing? Messing with my video, man. Gotta do it again, because you just like, I'm blocking you. Like, don't block me. Who do you think you are? Alright, but look, it drives straight, right? You turn left really hard, and then that wheel starts jiggling like crazy. And now the car doesn't drive straight anymore. Watch. Put it lined up pretty much straight. And we're just accelerating. I'm not churning at all. And if you don't trust me, there you go. You see, I'm not churning at all, but the car is churning. So if you churn too hard at a high speed, you break the car's suspension up to the point where it can't go straight no more. Now here's an idea I just thought of. So that was from turning left too hard, right? If you turn right too hard, does it equalize itself out? So we go like... I don't think so. It's not churning the same way. Yeah, so it doesn't equalize itself out. You can't equalize it. Whee! Splat. That's just kind of funny. And the suspension ride's a little higher than it did in Grand Theft Auto 5, I think. It's not a car I saw often in Grand Theft Auto 5, though, you know? I just don't remember seeing it often. And I don't know if I even ever drove it, so I can't compare performance, but the suspension ride's a little higher than I think it did in Grand Theft Auto, but it allows it to go over things like this without much issue, you know? Like, it almost works as an off-road car with this much suspension height. We should try it out as an off-road car later, but... I mean, yeah, look at that. It just went right over those, no problem. So, that's probably you probably got the good idea of the performance. I mean, if you don't turn so hard where it breaks the suspension, it really is understeer heavy. It's not something you're going to want to race. It's just, you're not going to want to race this thing. Like, it's just like, it won't, like, it's just like, I want to churn, but the car won't churn. And then you break the suspension. It's like, you're not going to want to race that, dude. It's the dumbest car to try to race. It's an economy car. You crash it. Or use it to get to work with minimal cost on your wallet from gas. You know, the interesting thing, though, is economy cars nowadays, they got 200-something horsepower or whatever. Sports cars in the 90s and 80s had that much power. The only difference is they weigh a lot less in that time period. It's just kind of interesting to think about. So let's go ahead and slam this thing into the side. Just do 8 times slow-mo. That should be good. And... ooh. I think it'll still run. No, it's not. Ah. I don't know if I said it before. This car's kind of like... it brakes when you don't expect it, but holds up also when you don't expect it. It's kind of the weird thing. Like, it might be a glitch even. But it seems like if I can brake the front end apart more than the back end, even though the front has all the important bits with the engine, the transmission, the tires that move. Everything important is in the front, right? But the front can be, well, here's a good thing. Hopefully it does it what it did before. So if I hit these two cars like this, what happens is the car that's in the back, the one I'm driving right now, seems to work while that one doesn't. It doesn't make much sense. I could also slow-mo this 100 times slow-mo. Super slow-mo. You can see it. It looks alright, you know. There's nothing too unusual or anything that I want to point out, really. The only thing that looks a little funky is when you have it slow enough, you notice that the cabin bends up and then bends back. It's kind of funny. It's like, what are you made out of, rubber? But I don't know what that is. I never paid attention that closely. I don't know if that happens to other cars or not. Alright, so let's see. So this car, you seen the one in the back, it's still pushing, it's still functioning, right? Then we got the one in the front, right? It's broken! How are you broken? Everything that's important is still right here untouched, and you're broken. Yet this car, it still drives. Doesn't even make sense. It just don't make sense. So like I said, brakes when you don't expect it, stays alive also when you don't expect it. So just for kicks, we're gonna do this again with a beat up car and see if it breaks. Look at that, it still runs. But this one's broken again. How is this still run but the other one wasn't? Doesn't make sense, does it? Like, what? Oh, one thing I just thought of. In Grand Theft Auto 5, there is the sticker bomb version of the car. Let's go to the other car so I don't ruin the one I'm messing with. And it's planned for the later version of the game, the later versions, but it's not yet available to have the sticker bomb version. Interesting, it doesn't have a front differential by default, or it just has empty. I wonder if you put that on. I wonder if that'll fix the problem where churning too tight ruins the front wheels. I wonder if it will. I mean, there's a possibility. I just want to check now. I didn't know that it didn't have the front differential on by default. So, same idea, just churn tight. Well, it definitely churns better. It's less understeery, that's for sure, but I don't think it held up. No, it did not. It is pulling to the left now. Look, turning right, letting it go straight, and it pulls left. So, that's not the problem. But I wanted to make sure. Oh goodness, the car is invisible. There we go. Oh, because I hit done, it reset it. Oh well. Now let's do some more crashing with this thing though. You know, I wonder if it would have more traction if the front wheels were deflated. As dumb as it sounds. I don't know about that one. Let's see. Nope, it's broken. I wasn't sure. I mean, I couldn't really tell how much of the force was on the roof or not. Apparently not much of it was on the roof. Most of it was breaking the car, actually. So I'm going to try that. Just out of curiosity, would I have more traction if I deflate those tires in the front? Nah. It just seems like it almost bounced before, so I was wondering if it would stop the bouncing, but it's pretty much the same. Whoa, it does improve the handling though. How funny. Flat tires in the front, you got some grip going for you. Normally you can't turn this thing at all at like 60 miles per hour. Now we got some grip going for us though, that's good. Alright, so let's just say hi to these cubes. Hello, cubes! Ooh. Oh, it still drives, cool. Look at that looks trippy. One thing somebody pointed out is like the back door doesn't quite match up. Like I remember seeing that. That's one of those things where it's like you probably won't notice it 90% of the time, but you see, if you go into debugging, you can see the back door, the triangles don't quite match up, right? You see that. Like I said, it's one of those things I don't think you'll notice 90% of the time. So, I'm not gonna worry about it. I mean, I'll let you know, but it's not something I'm gonna fret over. I will fret over the fact this thing's busted and going slow. We don't want no slow cars. Maybe it does have better traction with flats. We need to do a drag race. That's what we need to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a drag race. One with flats in the front, one with normal tires. And we'll see which one's better. Like, I think it's just a kind of placebo or something. Like, I think it'll improve it so it feels like it does, but in reality it doesn't. It might actually help handling, though. You hear that, guys? If you have a race car and you want maximum grip, put flat tires on it. It'll increase the grip. Right? That's how it works. No, it's not. Alright, that's about lined up. It's close enough, I would say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in 100 times slower. Hold the accelerator, switch cars, hold the accelerator on this one. Oh god, I forgot to put the flats on one of them. So, put the flats on this one, just the front tires. Now we're going to put it 100 times slower, hold the accelerator, switch to this one, do the same thing, and then put it to real time, which doesn't work half the time. There. So the one on the right has flats and the one on the left doesn't. They're started at basically the same time, and you see it's about the same actually. I was just imagining it. In fact, the flats might slow it down a bit at the top speed end of things. But I do think it handles better at least. Oh goodness. Alright, the other car needs to shush. See, now it'll still run. The tire's busted in, but it'll still run. It's just, it can't because it's upside down. Ah, it's just a random idea I had. So yeah, that's the general idea of the car though. And I guess we could try some off-roading with it just out of curiosity because, like I said, it seems like it has a lot of ground clearance. So I'm going to go try some off-roading with it. I don't know where I'm going to do that yet though, unfortunately. Somewhere that's not too extreme, you know? You need something that's pretty smooth because it's not going to be no crawling rocks or anything. Ooh, I know. 600 acres, let's see. That could work, yeah. It's not going to be easy, but it could work. Just for laughs, you know? It's just one of those things. I think it could be an off-road car. So let's see if it is. And since we're going to be changing maps soon anyways, let's show you what happens when you change the color. Don't change the color. It looks cool, but it's not good. Yeah. I don't know what just happened. It goes crazy mode. You can't look at this from the inside. Oh, what is going on? So don't do that. Just don't do that. Alright, so here we go. We're going to try off-roading this thing. Nah. It actually is working. Oh, jeez, it didn't. Come on, turn tight. Turn tight. Alright, there we go. Look, it actually works, though. I mean, it's not great. What do you expect from it? I'm surprised that it's doing what it is doing. And now it's stuck. You know. That was a pretty serious off-roading, though, where you need some ground clearance. Over here, we got something a little bit easier. Not there. No way it's going to be able to do that. Over here, it's easier, though. The ground clearance requirement isn't quite as high. And you can see, look at that. It just sits right there in the road and has just enough ground clearance to kind of do this stuff. It's funny. The world's most surprising off-roading car. So there's one more area I want to go to. I just gotta find it. I don't see it. Where are you? This way. It's over here. Here we are. And this is kind of a dirt road more so than anything. We could try it here as well. We've got some nice banks on the curb, on the churns and stuff. Churn, C-H-U-R-N. Definition, making butter. Also, the way WhyBeAre pronounces churn. Deal with it. Whee! Oh, jeez. Oh, look at that. It still works, though. Like I said, it surprises you. Get off me, fender. You can't hold me back. Who do you think you are? So yeah, it works okay for off-roading. It's not something I would be like, oh yes, I'm going to use this to off-road now. But it works for it, actually. Surprising, you know? Alright, so let's go ahead and do some more stuff. Probably just go totally wreck it now. Alright, so we're going to go to, I guess we'll do Brutal Sloop first. We're going to wreck it up. It's going to be great. It's going to be lovely. I mean, well, depends on your definition of lovely. If your definition of lovely is a wrecked car, it's going to be lovely. If your definition of lovely is like a flower, I don't know if it'll be that lovely to you, unfortunately. So, let's hope your definition of lovely is a wrecked car. Oh, that's right, colors don't work. I almost put a color on it and then, oh! Sometimes I forget to think. That was one of those instances. Alright, so let's take this thing down. Slow it up a bit and go. Power, power, power. It's always funny to watch how high the RPMs will go. 5,000. We're at red line. We'll keep going. 6,000. It's actually a really low revving engine for a small, like, engine that this thing has. Like you would think. I mean. Okay, because like economy engines and stuff, they usually are small, so they rev a little higher, but oh well. And, oh, wow. That's really bad. And I think I know why that thing wasn't that durable. Bring it back up. Because that's just one box. There's no real structural integrity to that. So it just crumples. I would never drive a... I do drive a car like that. That's scary to think about. Good thing is I don't crash into walls at 200 miles per hour usually. But yeah. I guess that is exactly how my RX-8 is, so okay, I drive a car that's probably deadly to drive. Well, that's why it has like 20 airbags or something, right? That's what airbags are for. My other car didn't even have airbags, so hey, has to be a little bit safer at least. I don't know. Anyways, convertible time! You know, this thing sits kind of high. I wonder if this will even work right. Well, we'll find out. Ooh, doors fell off. I don't think it's gonna run. What the heck is it doing? It's all flashing in the front for some reason. It's broken now. I don't know if it always was broken from the time it hit, but oh well. My convertible's upside down. Whoa, the camera's not even in the car anymore. Car's not even in this world anymore, actually. Okay, so that is the DeClasse Asea or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it still. I'm just guessing, man. It's DeClasse Asea. Asea car right there. Gets wrecked up pretty bad though. Oh, I almost forgot Leap of Death. Ooh, you guys would have yelled at me if I forgot Leap of Death, man. No Leap of Death is sad news. We need Leap of Death. Once I find it, I gotta find it. I gotta click. There it is. Almost missed it. I was so busy saying click. I just about whoop, click right by it and didn't even notice. That would have been terrible. But I saw it with my eyes. Waiting. I wonder if you can hear me pounding on the mouse on the microphone or not. Maybe just a little bit. Poor mouse, I'm all smashing it. Didn't even think about its thoughts and feelings and... I'm sorry, mouse. Anyways, back to DeClasse. Whee! So I'm assuming this thing will not stand up well at all. Wow. Yeah, that didn't stand up at all. That thing just blew apart. Alright, we'll just go ahead and full speed it now. One crash though, and it's like that. That's bad, dude. That thing is ruined. My bad. That was in real time already, but then it wasn't. Break all brake groups! Don't know why I felt like doing that. Poor car. Interior view is, well, I don't know what it's doing. I can't tell if my parking brake's on when I'm on the inside. That's a problem. Because there's no light or anything. One thing too, the glass looks dirty. Like, look how dirty the glass looks. Oh, this one's gonna hit almost the same. Oh well. I guess it's different. Driver is dead. They are ultra dead. Like right there, there'd be a driver normally. Well, no, they're not anymore. There isn't. But it's holding up the back end, kind of. Kind of. Yeah, it really is a kind of. It's not holding up the greatest, but whatever. And now it's probably going to be gone. Oh! Yep, just a ball of metal now. And broken game. I can reset it, I know, but I'm going to go end the video here. So until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. I'll see ya.